I just fell in love with the game of basketball, just the competitive nature, playing with older kids and also being the youngest of four boys. It kind of lit a fire under me. Coach Wade, the head coach at LSU when I was there, flew his private jet from Baton Rouge to a little place where I'm from called Williston. And they had to move chickens and turkeys off the runway for them to land. My first 2 years, I don't feel like that I was as committed as I should have been. I should have been in the gym more.
Welcome back to another episode of The Huddle, and I'm very excited to speak to our next guest. He's become a fan favourite very quickly in the NBL from the Illawarra Hawks, Darius Days. Now, Darius, I say Darius, but I've heard your name pronounced so many different ways in the short time you've been in the NBL, so can you enlighten us on the correct pronunciation?
You can call me whatever you want, Darius, Darius. If you see me somewhere and you want to speak, just say whatever, however you feel. But, I'd rather go by my last name than my first name. But, some people call me Double D. Some people call me Days. Some people call me DD. Like, whatever you feel like calling me that day, just call me that.
I'm going to go with, from what I've seen, I'm just going to go with Bucket, if that's all right with you.
That's fine with me.
Okay. It's great to sit down and chat with you. We are going to chat all about your life because it's a fun story. I can't wait to hear from you. As I said, you are a fan favourite from on the court, and I think you will be even more so off the court after this. But firstly, it has been a little while now since you've been in Australia, and particularly in Wollongong. How's it all going?
Man, it's been going well. I'm enjoying it. The fans are welcoming me with open arms. I'm having fun. The community is great. The fan base is amazing. Everyone's kind of falling in love with me also off the court and on the court. And, our team is just great. I'm enjoying being around our coaching staff, my team, and, we just can continue, having fun.
What did you know about Australia as the country, and particularly, I guess, Wollongong, of how it's a beautiful place, and you've been to some other cities now to play? Did you know much at all about it before you first touched down?
Actually, like the crazy thing about it, me and Josh Green went to high school together at IMG my senior year, his junior year. So, he told us a couple stories about, the huntsman spiders and the kangaroos and stuff like that. So, I had a little clue before I came, but I've never been here. I've been here for 2 months already. And, I'm definitely enjoying it.
You say that you're getting some love off the court. It's no surprise you are a fantastic personality, and I hope that anyone who hasn't had the chance to meet you gets to do it throughout the course of the season. But take us into what you like to get up to off the court, because it used to be my favourite road trip going to Wollongong. Now, you start laughing there as someone who we will touch on who went to LSU. That's a different story altogether off the floor. But what do you get up to?
Man, I'm a country boy from Florida. So I really it don't take me time to understand where I am. And I like to go walks on the beach. I live really close to the beach, so go walks on the beach, walk through the city a little bit. Just try new foods and try new things. We have a couple good restaurants here. Shout out to Needy and Ruby, a very good pizza spot over there on kind of downtown by the mall. Grilled is great. My favorite place is Snitz right now. I've been going on crazy for Snitz right now. Also Boost as well. It's definitely some good things around the city. Everyone knows who you are, and just walking through, everyone's showing love, and some of the kids want to take pictures and stuff like that. So, just the warm welcome has really been the best thing for me since I've been here.
Now, we'll preface this by saying you're not the first Illawarra player we've had on the Huddle, but something about the players, Todd Blanchfield, when I spoke to, everyone wants to plug the local places, the restaurants, the food. It's no surprise, and it's good because this is all about the community. You mentioned Florida, growing up in Florida. Take us back to what it was like growing up, and some interesting stories about yourself from your childhood.
Wow, man. I'm going to say this, me and my family, we kind of own a little bit of land, and, we kind of had a couple animals. We didn't live on a farm, but we had a couple animals. So it was one night around probably 12:30, 1 o'clock, me and my family was sleeping. And then all of a sudden, my dad wakes me and my brothers up to go outside. And, I have school in the morning. So I'm trying to understand, why is he waking us up? So he wakes us up and we go outside. He said, get dressed. And then we go outside and get dressed. And he was like, the pigs just got loose. So we have to go get the pigs and bring the pigs back home. So they kind of ran in front of our land, in the front. So my dad got his truck and got some feed and put it on the back of the truck and kind of lured them back home. And we kind of lured them back as well by making a tunnel for them just to go down all the way. So That's one of the stories I kind of, you know, hold my hat on, and just being able to do little things kind of helped me with my character and my values and my morals, and helped me be the guy that I am today.
So you grew up on a farm. So as a farm man, and I can speak and attest to the same thing. Spiders are fine with me. Snakes are fine with me. I'm a bees man. I don't deal with bees. How do you go with all the insects?
Allergic.
Are you allergic?
Yes, to insect stings, bees or wasps or anything. If I get stung, like I kind of like swell up really bad, so I kind of stay away from those.
What about snakes and the big huntsmen? No problem.
I've been hearing a bunch of stories from the guys and people throughout the community. And, you know, I heard a story like, you know, one of my friends was driving in his car, and he pulled down the mirror, and the spider just fell down in front of his face. So, you know, he kind of like pulled the car over, almost got in a car accident and got out the car. And he didn't get back in the car because he lost the spider. So, you know, those little stories kind of like freak me out a little bit. But, you know, I'm definitely not a snake guy or a spiders guy.
I think you might be. The longer you stay in Australia, and again, the way you grew up, I think you're going to become accustomed to it, because we want to see you here a lot longer than just this season. Tell us about the basketball side of things, where that began, because I believe there was a lot of baseball growing up for you. You played a little football, I think, at some point. So where does hoops fit into that whole journey?
To start off, you know, my dad played a little baseball himself, so I kind of wanted to follow his footsteps, play a little baseball. When I was younger, I wasn't old enough to play on the football team, so I had to play a little bit of soccer as well. And then I kind of gradually got into basketball around 7th and 8th grade. I kind of quit football, and I put the football down, and I kind of committed my life to playing basketball. And I just fell in love with the game of basketball, just the competitive nature, you know, playing with older kids, and also being the youngest of 4 boys. It kind of lit a fire under me. So, you know, I kind of enjoyed playing basketball, so I just started taking it more serious, trying to get wisdom from different guys, older coaches around my community, and just playing at the best tournaments and trying to see the best guys, and being able to play against the best of the best.
What kind of student were you in high school? Because I get the feeling, and again, I want to mention for the first time at the Blitz, and the glowing endorsement from your teammates about how much of a great personality you are and a great character. I can feel that at times I think the teachers would have been like, man, come on now, let's lock in here, because you had a lot of fun, I feel.
Yes. I would say I was a really good student. Like, my parents was kind of big on respect. My mom was really big on grades. My dad was really big like on the morals and the respect type side. And so like I had to make a really good balance of both. Being able to, you know, also have fun at school, you know, be with my friends and, you know, crack jokes here and there. But I was also, you know, one of those guys, like, I get my work done, and then after that I can kind of, you know, bother the teacher and bother some of my friends and have fun. But, you know, all the teachers enjoy being around me because of my energy and my willing to learn and understand like the material. So, you know, I feel like I had a lot of fun in school. Like, you know, my character that I am today was the same I was in school. So I feel like, you know, if you ask anybody through my years of school, they'll give you the same answer. You know, a great guy to be around, very hard working, and do whatever to, you know, get the best grade in this class. So.
Do you know where that personality of yours came from? And that, because it is infectious. It is fun. It's already fun chatting to you here. I spoke to your teammates. I spoke to JT. Everybody says the same thing about just how incredible you are as a person. Was that something you have, something in your childhood that you remember that changed maybe? Or was that just all you remember growing up as just being this guy and always have a smile on your face?
I've always been a happy baby. Like, I've always, like, even the pictures of me being, you know, 1 or 2, or, you know, just growing up throughout my years, I've always been happy. Like, I have pictures in my phone where it's just like, I've been laughing and smiling my whole entire life. But, you know, also growing up with guys that, you know, like, also growing up in the country, like, you know, it's always fun. Like, it's always going to be respect, and it's always going to be, you know, if you take care of your chores and everything, you know, you're going to be able to have fun and stuff like that. So, you know, I've always been a happy person, and I've always given respect, and people gave me respect back. And, you know, whatever you put into the world is whatever you're going to get back. So, you know, when I'm putting good things into the world, and, you know, that's why I'm here talking to you now, because, you know, I put great things into the world, and now, you know, I'm on the phone with you now. So, you know.
Yeah, I'm nervous to ask this because, again, I'm already a massive fan of yours, both on and off the floor. But being a country boy, tell me that the country music's on the playlist somewhere.
I'm not really a big country music guy. Yeah, I'm not a real big country music guy. I'm more of like a old school R&B type guy.
Okay.
Anita Baker. I like stuff like that. I like the Isley Brothers. I have those in my playlist. Yeah, I have a different variety of music. I like real slow music. I listen to slow music before the games to kind of calm my nerves. So I have a variety of music. I'm a switch on me night with the music.
All right, give us one of those slow jams you like to listen to, maybe in the recently or the one you can remember when you went out and had a big game.
Man, I can't remember who was by, but it's me and Mrs. Jones.
Oh.
Yeah.
I rate it. And again, so there you go. That's something in the back of the mind when you're ready for a championship game.
Yes.
Now,
I listen to that before a game. Man, it's so many. I listen to a little bit of Bobby Brown, rock with you a little bit, or yeah. I like different varieties of music before I'm playing.
we might need the Illawarra Hawks social to put up your pre-game playlist at some stage so we can all just have a listen.
If you go on my Instagram, I listen to Lil Jackson 5. I played that on my picture. Man, I have a bunch of hits on my Instagram. So, I also like a lot of slow music. Love Michael Jackson. I got a little bit of Prince in there. Yeah, man, I got hits.
There you go. There's a nice little plug. Everybody get on and follow it because there's going to be some good music. Let's talk college. LSU, before we talk about the time there, the decision to go to LSU. I know you had some other options. Talk us through that.
My final four, I had LSU, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Ohio State, in Louisville. Yeah, Louisville. I went to North Carolina and Louisville and LSU for visits. I knew kind of where I wanted to go before I even kind of went on my visits. I knew I wanted to play early as a freshman, and that was the biggest sell for me. I'm really big on relationships, and I'll tell you a little story that, Coach Wade, the head coach at LSU when I was there, like I said, I live in the country, so it was a runway kind of where I'm from. So he flew his private jet from Baton Rouge to a little place where I'm from called Williston, and they had to move chickens and turkeys off the runway for them to land. And so for someone to come and do that kind of sold me right there. And then another thing where with North Carolina, this one, Coach Roy Williams was the head coach still. And, he came to my school and he blew me away. He came with a case full of all the championship rings and the, conference championship rings and the regular season championship rings. And he opened the case and it was like a light shining on the rings. And I'm like, they are really rich with tradition and of just winning. A lot of guys go to the NBA from his teams and stuff like that. And, I understood that, but at the same time, I wanted to start something new because in my class, it was, me, Emmett Williams, Nas Reed, Javonte Smart, with those guys, and like we was coming on, all as freshmen, and we want to build something. And so we wanted to call it something our own. And so, those other schools already had, rich with traditions. We wasn't really winning like that. They had a couple bad seasons in a row. 2 years before that, they had Ben Simmons and Antonio Blakeney. And so, even though they had really good players, they wasn't winning the games. And then, my first year there, we won the conference championship of the regular season. We went 18-2 that year, we went 16-2 that year. We had a phenomenal team. We had phenomenal wins. And, I'm glad I went there for 4 years.
I do want to break down a little bit more about the college journey because from country Florida to Baton Rouge, Louisiana,
man,
that's completely different.
Man, it was fun. It kind of puts you in the mind of Wollongong in a sense. College town, really good with everything, good people, good food. Baton Rouge is a beautiful place. Shout out to Baton Rouge. Shout out to the Louisiana State family. Shout out to the purple and gold people. Shout out to the gold people that comes to all the basketball games that sit in the student section. Shout out to all the frats and everybody that goes there. Shout out to everybody that goes there now. Man, it was a great time. So,
tell us a little bit about, again, mid-major schools is one thing. That's all I can relate to, having played against some of the high majors. But when you first touched down in LSU, Was there anything that shocked you or surprised you in your rookie year in terms of maybe it is juggling everything, one experience in college, which you have to do at some point,
Yeah.
whether it's freshman, junior, or senior?
Go back a little bit, almost like when I was in high school. I graduated high school June 1st. I was on LSU's campus by June 3rd. So I didn't really have that much time to like kind of go home with my family. As soon as I graduated, I was kind of packing my life up back at home to go to LSU. First week on LSU's campus, I was blown away. It was like, everyone knows you. I wasn't really used to that because at IMG, everyone's good all there. So like from football to tennis, you have world champions there, from tennis to football to baseball, basketball. So everyone's there is already, known and established. So, just going to LSU and, just having fun and understanding, like, you're not in high school no more. Like, you're not in your parents' house no more. Like, you kind of can do what you want to do, but also you got to take care of your business on the court, off the court. And that's the biggest thing that a lot of kids don't understand going to college. Yes, you go there to have fun. You meet new people. You meet, friends that you might, have for the rest of your life, but you also are there for a reason. And, if you're there for a sport, you have to win games because it's a lot of pressure when it's like, we have a rich tradition of winning all the time. Everyone going to give you their best game. So, for an example, like a couple of days ago, Alabama just lost to Vanderbilt in a football game. That says a lot right there. Like, everyone is gunning for you. Like LSU and Alabama and Georgia is like, I feel like the top of the SEC in like every game, football, baseball, from gymnastics to tennis. We're always in competition with each other. So, it's always good and bad in college for an athlete.
And I got a feeling as a previous LSU student athlete that watching a team like Bama #1 go down, that would have felt pretty good.
Oh, I was happy. I love purple and gold, but it's always love with those guys in Alabama. We always had good battles and good fights with those guys. So, it's always love.
I do love a point you just made there about understanding you need to achieve things both on and off the court at LSU, such a big school, but also understanding you still want to experience things because you are a kid and you are understanding what's around you. How important is it to allow yourself to find the balance of this is what I can do? And again, we talk about college, everybody understands. There's college parties, there's college frat, there's all of this side of college that if you don't get to experience it just a little bit, not saying people will regret it, but you don't fully get the college experience. But being able to do it the right way and have that balance is crucial, and also things to learn from as you go through your college career.
I can only say from personal experiences. When I first got there, I was a kid. I got there around 18 and I left at 22. So you definitely got to have that definitely, you got to be committed to your craft as well. Like, I'm going to speak from personal experience. My first 2 years, I don't feel like that I was as committed as I should have been. I should have been in the gym more. I should have took more advantage of, the school I was at. I'm at LSU, like one of the greatest schools to ever open up or be established. So, then my second 2 years, I kind of took more advantage of everything that was going on, watching more film and understanding what I need to do on the court to help my team be successful. So, but you also have to get that balance as well, because, if you continue trying to work every day, you're going to go crazy, because also you got to deal with the pressures of winning. Like, one of my coach, we had a conversation and he was just telling me, I'm going to be completely honest with you what he said. He said, you can go out there, have fun, do whatever you want to do, but I need you to be here, committed, and win games. That's what you're here for, and you're not here to party and kind of enjoy yourself. But I want you to enjoy yourself. You got to find that balance in the middle, and when you find that balance in the middle, you will be very successful.
And that sounds spot on. I think it was Phil Handy when he was here doing some Melbourne United stuff, ex-Lakers assistant, said that at one time went out with Kyrie Irving, and they were having a great time. And then Kyrie texted him at 6 a.m. saying, let's hit the floor. And he said, we can play hard, but we're going to work harder. And that's just the way it is. And that's exactly what you're saying there. Talk to us a bit about the decision to then go back. You took your name out of the draft and said, I'm going to go back for another year. Was that easy to do, or did you understand what was going to take place following?
Man, that's a great question. Man, To be honest with you, I kind of felt alone. All the guys I came in with was gone. Even the guys that came in my sophomore and junior were gone. My freshman year, like I said, Nas Reed, Javonte Smart, Emmett Williams, all those guys was gone. Trenton Wofford was gone. Cam Thomas was gone. So, like, I'm sitting back with my parents and and having talks about what would happen for my senior year in college. Do I want to forgo it, or do I want to go back, or what was the plan? And me just sitting back and understanding what was the best route for me, because at first I was kind of selfish. I wanted to rush it. I want to, experience what was going on with my friends. Everyone's having fun. They don't have to go to school anymore. They don't have to turn in papers at 11:59. They don't have to do that. So me just watching them and kind of wanting their life instead of, understanding what's best for me, I made that decision with my family to, it was best for me to go back to school. And I feel like in the long run, that was probably one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. And not being rushed, just be patient and, wait for God to understand and show you what's best for you. And also he did. And, that's why I'm in the NBL right now and, having this conversation with you and, continue being patient.
We're glad that all the steps worked out to have you here in the NBL. As I said, I think you belong in the NBA, but selfishly, I want to keep getting to know you better and seeing you on an NBL floor. From LSU and the summer league experience that then gave you your first taste of the NBA, chat us through that, because I've been to the last 2 NBA summer leagues. They're interesting tournaments from a standpoint of what everybody 15, 16 players deep is trying to achieve. What was your mindset like first going into summer league?
Okay, at first, I'm going to rewind a little bit to draft night. I didn't get drafted. I had to go undrafted. I went to the Spurs. We were like 23 deep. We were at training camp, going at it 5-on-5, going through drills and stuff, going through plays. A lot of things happened to go my way. I feel like, I don't wish injury on no one. I didn't know, but one of our draft picks, Jeremy Sohan, got injured, and that kind of moved me up the depth chart a little bit because he also played the same position I played. Robert Wood III, he played the 4th position as well, and I was his backup. So, me moving up in the depth chart, getting my opportunity to get on the floor, I made the best of my opportunity. I had some really good games. The first game, I had 11-7. The second game, I had 17-13. The last game, I had 13-11. And, that kind of propelled me to be on different teams' radars. And I kind of got the 2-way with the Miami Heat. And then I went to the Miami Heat for a bit, went through preseason with them. And some things didn't go my way with that. Everything happens for a reason. And they waived me kind of before the deadline. We had 2 more preseason games. They waived me. And then I picked up another 2-way with the Houston Rockets. And they kind of gave me an opportunity with the Houston Rockets. I didn't play any preseason games. I went straight to the G League team just to learn the plays and learn the coaching staff and learn everything inside the organization. And, I had a pretty good rookie season. And then I came back with the Houston Rockets for my sophomore season. And, I was way off my 2-way again. And I went through the whole G League season. And then I went to Canada for a bit. And then I went to the Philippines for a bit. And then now I was with the Shanghai Sharks for a bit as well. Then now I'm here with the Hawks.
The Spurs story is fascinating because do you think having that pressure on you as a player at LSU, where every win, every performance is magnified, helped you be ready for the injury to Jeremy Sohan? You get thrown into an environment where you don't know how long the opportunity could last for you to grasp it. And you did. You went out there and did it in multiple games. What was the feeling like before the first one where maybe it was Pop or someone came and told you, look, you're getting on in this game and we need you? Does that get you, are you a nervous type player in those moments?
Not necessarily. I knew what I worked for. I know what I've been through the past 4 seasons at LSU. So me being prepared, I've always been prepared. And I went into the game, hoping I get in the game. And when I get my opportunity, I'm going to make the best of it. I try to hang my hat on rebounding and getting second opportunities for my team. So, me being able to rebound at a high level and get second chance points, or, me stretching the floor and hitting open threes, that kind of helps me be on the court, being, very loud and talking on defense and, being energetic and bringing energy. is going to keep you on the court. So one of my coaches in the past always told me, do what's going to keep you on the court. And if you continue doing what you do to keep you on the court, no one can come get you or take you out your position. So if no one else on the team can do what you do, you're going to play a lot of minutes. So, if you continue doing that, then, the sky's the limit for you.
Any cool Pop anecdotes for us? Because there's been some Aussie NBL coaches who have been able to be in the Spurs organization for a couple of summer leagues, and they say in the camps leading up to summer league, like Pop's around, but I heard that there's a toilet that's next to Pop's office that no one else uses and no one wants to walk past it. Anything that stood out for you with the greatest of all time?
Yes and no. He's kind of big on like respect, and now when we went to the gym, we cannot walk through the court. We had to walk around the court. So if you're walking through a court, you would get yelled at, say get off the court, or you would have to go back where you started and go all the way around where you're trying to go. So just being able to, understand what he wants on a day-to-day basis, he's going to be tough. Things going to be tough with him. He's going to make you think. So, understanding him as a coach, and, he's been winning before you, and he's probably going to be winning after you. So, he knows what to do, and you just have to listen and execute.
Are you surprised, shocked, or you thought that he would still be going around now? I know they've got Wemby there now, but he re-signed, and everyone's like, this man's just going to keep going.
That's a great question. Someone that loves basketball, that eats, sleep, and breathe the basketball, you can't take that away from him. He's been doing this for years and years. And, if you want to sit there and just take that away from him, with all the success that he's had throughout the years, I don't think he's going to go quietly. So, just kind of, not push him out, but kind of wean him off a little bit, kind of keep him in the front office, keep him around the team, and, keeping his spirits around the organization, to help propel maybe the new coach in the future. So, keeping him around is going to be best for the organization, I feel like.
And it will be strange for all basketball fans when the San Antonio Spurs no longer have Greg Popovich involved. So I'm happy to wait that a little longer. But from Pop to JT, Justin Tatum, there's a different vibe going on with both of those coaches, but both are excelling at what they do. What's it been like playing for JT?
He has similarities to a lot of coaches I've had in the past. I feel like he's really a great players coach. He's been there before, so he understands how we feel, how our bodies feel, what we're thinking, what we're going through. So with him just understanding that on a day-to-day basis, it helps us in the long run. But he also, he plays that role of also a big brother. Like I said before in the interview before, like, I look at him as also a coach, but also like a big brother. You can go to him and joke around and have fun, but he also knows when to cut that off and be your head coach. So, anybody in the future that has the opportunity to come play for the Hawks, I feel like you should take that opportunity because, like I said before, you're going to love it here. And, the coaching staff, even the media, shout out to Emma, she's great. And everything's around here is great. So, we got to give something back to the fans. I'm not going to speak too much into that. When we get around that time of the year, we'll revisit this conversation.
Well, I want to talk about just the vibe around the team, lastly, because very rarely do you have a team that comes in with this personality from 1 through 12. You've got a coaching staff that are all the same. And as I said, you sit here and nonstop smiling and positivity, but that's basically everything around the Illawarra Hawks this year. What is it about the vibe in this organization, in this town right now that's so special?
Man, it's a lot of buzz, man. Everyone feels good. We really feel good about this team, and everyone's on the exact same page. We all have the same goal in mind, and everyone's putting work in today. I'm gonna give you an example for today. Me and Davo kind of got into it today. Just going back and forth, and wanting our teams to win, and scratching and clawing, and some guys, sometimes you got to get into it. Sometimes with your teammates because he wants to win as bad as I want to win, and that's going to be contagious around the team. And JT is putting everyone in position to win, and he did everybody equal opportunity to do whatever they can on the floor, and everyone gets an opportunity. So if you do whatever you do with the opportunity, we all going to win. And everyone is we're almost fighting each other to win games today. And, that's the part about basketball you should love is competing.
I love it. And again, I can speak to you for hours about whatever it is, to be honest. It's just a great chat. Before I let you go, I do have to ask you spend some time here. Are you a coffee drinker?
I'm not. Everyone's been trying to get me to be a coffee drinker. I'm more of a tea guy.
That's okay.
Little hibiscus, little honey, kind of stir it up. No, nothing else really other than that. I'm pretty fine.
We might revisit that at the end of the season. But you did mention that you do frequent boosts. Like, what's your boost order?
Oh, man. Strawberry squeeze plain.
There you go. Hey, there's nothing wrong with the plain ones are always the better ones. You start adding too much. Same with coffee. You just make it too difficult.
Right.
Mate, I'm so glad you're in the NBL. I can't wait to see the rest of the season, and I'm sure all the fans are going to continue to love you, and that appreciation will grow. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank y'all for having me. And, shout out to the Hawks and shout out to
Thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been another episode of The Huddle, and you can catch Double D the Bucket in action very soon.
Sir, thank you.